Crown Jewel 2019. So, the fourth Saudi Arabia pay-per-view here. And honestly, I think this is the second most watchable one. I think Greatest Royal Rumble was better. It's not saying much, but it was better. Whereas last year's Crown Jewel was a complete and utter disaster. And Super Showdown was pretty bad too. So, the 20-man Battle Royal, we had Humberto Carrillo win. And then the opening contest, we had Brock Lesnar versus Cain Velasquez for the WWE Championship. And you had Rey Mysterio come out with Cain Velasquez. And I was surprised to see this be the opening match. And, yeah. This went, ready? 2 minutes and 10 seconds. You heard that right, all. You heard that right. That's 2 minutes and 10 seconds. So, Brock Lesnar retained the title. Basically, this Cain Velasquez was going for what looked like a TKO. For those of you who are familiar with MMA, you know, he was going with the ground and pound. Brock Lesnar gets the Kimura. Cain Velasquez taps out. Yeah. So, I was happy Brock Lesnar won. But this was just a giant, big waste of time. And then after the match, we had Rey Mysterio attacking Brock Lesnar with chair shots. Even had some to the head, which is nice to see. And yeah, I'm assuming this is just going to be setting up Brock Lesnar and Rey Mysterio. Then we had the 9-team tag team turmoil match, which went 32 minutes and 5 seconds. So the OC ended up winning this cup, this trophy that we'll probably never see again. And they won by finally defeating the Viking Raiders. And the first ones out, we had Dolph Ziggler and Bobby Roode. They defeated the Lucha House Party. Then we had, Heavy Machinery. We had the B Team, the Revival. They were all squandered. We had the New Day. And like I said, the OC defeated the Viking Raiders. And this match was just it was boring. I don't know. I was looking forward to this because it was really the only match I was looking forward to on this card. I like turmoil matches. But it was very slow paced. I think this would have worked better if it was Tornado Tag. Because it just felt like it was just dragging for 32 minutes. But I did feel like the OC needed a win here. So I'm not going to complain at all because, I didn't think they were going to put him over, honestly. And I feel like they really did need something like this for the stable. So, good on them. So then we had Mansoor versus Cesaro. Very predictable match. I think we all knew Mansoor was going to win this due to the fact that, he's from Saudi Arabia. But they put on a really good match here to the point of it being a great match. It went 12 minutes and 45 seconds. Mansoor got the win with a moonsault to Cesaro for a clean pin. He gave a promo afterwards, kind of inspirational for the Saudi Arabians, I guess. But yeah, really good showing there, and honestly, really the only good match on the show, to be honest. And then we had Tyson Fury versus Braun Strowman singles match. This went longer than I thought it was going to. This went 8 minutes and 4 seconds. So Tyson Fury came out, got a huge entrance. Pyro, he was wearing the Saudi Arabia getup. What the fuck? But yeah, this basically ended with Tyson Fury punching Braun Strowman out of the ring and then winning by countout. So yeah, that's how that ended. And hopefully we never see Tyson Fury in WWE again. I'm done with this. This was bullshit. They paid him like $12 million for this. This was just stupid, and I was so over this. Then, of course, we had AJ Styles for the United States Championship defending against Humberto. And this was an okay match. It was decent. It was passable. There wasn't it wasn't overbooked with the OC or anything, which was nice. You know, we had clean finishes here, or a clean finish, I should say. But yeah, this went 12 minutes. It was okay. I was a little disappointed. I kind of expected a little more out of this, but whatever. And then we had the first ever women's match in Saudi Arabia. We had Natalya versus Lacey Evans. This went 7 minutes and 21 seconds. And they were dressed in basically just black latex from neck down. And then they had their own shirts. Like Natalya had pink, Lacey Evans had red. And you know, it's your basic women's match. It felt like a women's house show match. You know, it's there for the historical aspect. You know, a lot of people were very emotional during it. The crowd seemed into it, so, you know, I was kind of worried they were just going to shit on him or, like, assassinate somebody. But, you know, it's one of those things. It's not very special because you shouldn't have not let them perform in the first place. Like, the first Saudi Arabia show should just have allowed female talent. So it's hard to say, oh, this is cool, yay. It's the fourth pay-per-view. This should have happened 3 pay-per-views ago. But I digress. We had Natalya. Wow, it's been a long day. I did a live stream of this pay-per-view. We had Natalya winning by submission with the sharpshooter. So, yeah, I was kind of hoping Lacey Evans would go over. Heel and face were just kind of thrown out during this one, which is understandable being it's a historic moment. So, I'll give him that one. And then we had the very boring 10-man tag team match. Team Hogan versus Team Flair. We saw Roman Reigns, Rusev, Ricochet. I'm not calling him Shorty G. It's Chad Gable. I refuse. So yeah, Chad Gable and then Ali. With Hulk Hogan and Jimmy Hart was there. So that was cool. And then we had Team Flair, Randy Orton, King Corbin, Bobby Lashley, Shinsuke Nakamura, and Drew McIntyre. With Ric Flair and Lana. This went 19 minutes and 55 seconds. Yeah. You know, this should have just been done at Survivor Series if you really wanted to do that. This was not elimination. Basically, we had Roman Reigns getting the spear on Randy Orton for the pinfall. Like I said, this just kind of felt like it dragged on. Like, nobody really cared. The crowd didn't really care all that much. It just felt like another house show 5-on-5 match to get everyone on the card and get everyone that Saudi Arabia payday. So yeah, this just dragged. I was so bored watching this. And, you know, usually matches have redeeming qualities, but this just was, it dragged and it was just boring, you know. It just served no purpose either. Hogan and Flair barely did anything. I didn't expect them to go in there and take bumps, don't get me wrong. But they could have at least done something a little more than this. And then we had the main event. The Fiend Bray Wyatt versus Seth Rollins. Falls Count Anywhere match for the Universal title. Cannot be stopped no matter what. This went 21 minutes and 21 seconds. So, it started out like a normal Extreme Rules match. You had chairs, you had double table spot from Seth Rollins. You had an announce table spot. You had a barricade spot. And then, you know, they made their way up to the stage. And you had, 9 curb stomps maybe? 8 or 9 curb stomps. Which was just ridiculous. And then, you know, Bray Wyatt is super kicked into a production area where pyro goes off. And he basically no-sells it. Gets right back out. Seth Rollins, you know, got some pyro in his eye. We had a mandible claw to the Sister Abigail. And then Bray Wyatt is the new Universal Champion. Gets a 3 count. Up by the stage. So, to me, this was the only way for this match to end. But at the same time, I believe Bray Wyatt doesn't need a title. I think he's an attraction. Don't give him a title. You know, I just don't think he should have been in the title picture at all. He shouldn't have been facing Seth Rollins. What they did with him at SummerSlam was perfect. Keep doing that. Build the character up and keep doing that for these, like, appearances. I don't want him as a world champion. But whatever. Let me know your guys' letter grade down below. I'm going to give this a D+. This was just bad. The only good match on here was Mansoor and Cesaro. It was a great match. Awesome. But the rest is just filler. This is a house show. And I'm surprised we even had a title change. Not very often you see a title change at Saudi Arabia's Super Shit Showdown. So, yeah. Give me your thoughts down below. For now, this has been the DVD Freak. Peace out.